So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and good very late night for some of you. Thanks everyone for joining. This is the opening ceremony for the AWS Global Vibe Hackathon. It's a really exciting day. This is likely to be the biggest vibe coding hackathon ever, or at least ever that we've done on DoraHacks, but potentially the biggest one this year. We've got a number of stellar partners, and finally submissions are now open as of 10 minutes ago. So you'll find the link in the description if you want to get registered and get involved. But we're going to be hearing from the AWS team and from a number of our fantastic sponsors today, as well as some of the bounty sponsors who have specific challenges that you can take part in addition to the 10 tracks. The hackathon, as I said, is live as of today. You can register after today as well. You didn't have to register before kickoff. So go ahead and make a DoraHacks account and register on the page in the description. And submissions are open until the 1st of December. Remember, you can submit your project before it's completely finished. Just make sure it's got enough information to be counted as eligible for the hackathon. And then you can fine tune it and edit details through DoraHacks right up until the deadline. So make sure to submit early so you don't miss the final deadline. And without any further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Ian from the AWS team. Hey, Ian.
Hi, James. Thanks very much for the intro, and thanks to everybody joining on this live stream. As James mentioned, it is a very special day, so we are officially open for submissions, and certainly what aims to be AWS's largest vibe coding hackathon. And we're proud to be partnered with AWS customer DoraHacks, and also joined by all of our partners and sponsors. I'm just going to take a few minutes and talk about the hackathon in general and some of the timelines, the resources. I'm going to do a quick screen share and just go through a few things on the hackathon page. So before I do that, just a quick intro on myself. So my name is Ian Holtz. I am the head of AI coding for startups covering Asia Pacific and Japan. I'm based in Sydney, in Australia. I'm a engineer, developer, former founder, CTO, and I've been running hackathons like this, globally throughout the year, predominantly covering startups. We've never done anything at scale this large, so we're taking all the learnings and the toolings within AWS to leverage those into a much broader hackathon that you guys are all a part of today. So, can everybody see my screen here?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is what you see on the screen. I'm gonna just take, or actually, before I do that, I'm gonna hand it over to my partner, Thomas. Thomas, you want to give a quick intro on yourself?
All right,
Thomas,
thanks, Ian.
yes, sir. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Thanks, Ian, for that. So, hi everybody. I'm Thomas. I'm Ian's partner in crime on the tech side. So, as Ian is head of the BD part of things, I'm focusing on the solutions architecture part. So, I'm helping customers with the AI-driven development across APJ.
Perfect.
Back to you.
All right, thanks, Thomas. So, a little bit on the hackathon. First of all the details are here. As we mentioned already, submissions are live today, but teams or individuals can register ongoing up until I think the day that submissions end, which is December 2nd. So we have several weeks, but I encourage everybody to get registered and also get your builds submitted. A little bit about what the expectations are in terms of building. If you look here at the tracks, I encourage you to look through these tracks, and when you get to the building stage, this is how you can determine what track that you want to submit your build on. And you can submit across multiple builds, but you can only win one. So if it fits various categories, that's fine. We encourage you to do that. There is even an open category. So if none of these tracks fit, what your submissions are, there's kind of an open track here at the end, which is like anything open AI related if it doesn't fit into those other tracks. And back to like the details. so we got a lot of questions like, okay, what are we trying to accomplish? Because this is different than a lot of some of the other hackathons that we've seen. And we're really light on, I guess, casual on, giving direction on what hackers and builders build and submit. Really, the point of this is to leverage the tools for AI coding. So if you look at the details section here, really the only requirement is that you're leveraging any one of these AI coding assistants. So if you look in the back of my screen, so obviously Amazon Q is there. And there's various flavors of Amazon Q developer. So there's Q in CLI, there's Q in IDE, there's Q in GitHub, there's Q in AWS console. And as long as you're using and verifying that you're using one of those, that's okay. So not only do you have to, as part of the rules, confirm that you're using one of these tools in some way, shape, or form, and all of these have free versions, by the way. But then, and that's part of the registration process. But then when you get into the actual builds, you're required to demonstrate how you leverage those tools. So what does that mean exactly? Like, we use these tools all the time. We engage with all the way up from, enterprises to, pre-seed startups, and they're leveraging these tools in different ways. Some organizations are using them end to end to build production-ready applications, and that's fine. Others are using them just to iterate on ideas or new features or technical architecture, and that's okay too. What I expect for this hackathon is that folks are most likely going to be in the middle. You can even use these tools to take all the data from these descriptions and different resources, and then pop them into those tools and say, hey, help me iterate on some product ideas. And then you can go back and forth with these tools to be able to come up with a roadmap, a game plan, technical architecture. And then you go from there. So it's really light on how you use the tools, as long as you are using the tools and some version of the tools, and then also how you're demonstrating in the end in your submission how you leverage those tools in your build. Before I just do a quick demo of what those tools look like, I'm going to touch a bit on like what needs to be submitted. There are no hard requirements that anything needs to be production ready or hosted. So if you've leveraged these tools just to come up with some technical architecture and you have a prototype and you can show a video of that's just hosted locally, that's fine. Feel free to submit it and say, hey, I leverage these tools to come up with the architecture, with the roadmap, with the tech stack, but we weren't able to get to production for whatever reason. That's okay. Or if you're at the other end of the spectrum and you're building something that has been fully deployed and it's ready to go, that's okay too. There aren't any requirements around the stages of your build. And then take a look at this resources section as well. So there's so many resources relative to these tools. From documentation to workshops to videos, YouTube shorts on how to get set up and authenticated, how to use those tools. And you're not just limited to the resources here. You can even use the tools to find other resources, or even use the tools to let them teach you how to better use the tools. So again, really encourage everybody to check out the resources section, ask a question, follow the announcements. I anticipate us having other technical workshops, as these weeks go on, to be able to enable the participants. But I'm gonna just pause there and then go through and just show you what Q and Kiro look like in various environments. So this is just Q and CLI. So I'm on a Mac right now, but you can get Q and CLI also in Windows. But this is just what it looks like, and you can authenticate with a builder's ID with the instructions that you have in the resources or even in the details section. And I'm just going to give it a sample prompt, and while I'm doing that. That I'll show you what Q and Kiro look like in some of the other environments. So I haven't tested this prompt yet, but I actually used Q to develop the prompt. I told them that, hey, we're running a demo for this hackathon. Give me a short prompt that I can deploy using the tool quickly. So I'm just going to copy it directly into terminal. I'll just read this out loud. Build me a classic Tetris style game, make it lightweight with the same functions that I can control with my keyboard, arrow, keys, and spacebar to drop. But make the S a way to shoot unlimited bullets down from the falling blocks 5 times faster so the user can shoot the blocks below. So it's a little bit of a spin on Tetris. And then open it in my browser when it's done. So I'm going to let that run. And based on my experience for these lightweight games, you can build these things end to end, like literally in seconds. There's certainly no limit to what you guys build, and it doesn't have to be a game. So I think there is a game track, but you can use this for prototyping, and then you can leverage Q or Kiro to be able to identify the additional steps to get it, hosted, or databases behind it, or authentication, or anything else that's that you have time to do or resources to be able to do. So while that's working, I'm also going to show you that Q runs pretty similarly. Actually, that prompt's already done, so I'm going to hit trust, and then it should deploy pretty quickly to my browser. Yeah, so here it is. This just popped up, and let's give this a test. So yeah, there you go. It looks just like Tetris. I'm going to drop that. Let's see if the other features work. So I'm just pressing S. There you go. So a little bit of spin on Tetris, and just a quick example of the power of Q Developer. So I'll close that down, and then I'm also going to show you Q Developer in VS Code. So Q Developer in VS Code is just an extension in the marketplace. So very popular IDE amongst developers. This is what I've developed in for years. You can just go over to Marketplace and add Amazon Q, and then the extension shows up here. You can also authenticate the same way that you would within Terminal, just with a builder ID, or you can subscribe to a pro subscription within AWS. And pretty similar than what I just showed you, except for you've got obviously all the bells and whistles and additional features of VS Code. But I could technically just paste that same prompt here. And I use a combination of all these tools to do different things sort of simultaneously. So if you love VS Code and you don't want to work out a CLI, here it is right here. It'll pretty much do the same thing. And then finally, I'm just going to touch on Kiro a little bit. And again, the requirement isn't that you use all of these tools or that you use any paid version. It's just that you use one of these tools in some way, shape, or form, and then you demonstrate within your submission how you leverage these tools in some way of what your submission is. It could be just from the iteration phase to end to end. Maybe you vibe coded the entire thing. So this is Kiro. Kiro is our own IDE, similar to VS Code, but it's got built-in native tooling, and it's also got model selection and various other things. So any one of these is available, and there are detailed resources. Let me just go back to my agenda, see if I'm missing anything quickly. Yeah, so continue to follow the community and the communications. I do anticipate other events and workshops to go a little bit more technical when we have more time. Ask questions and have a lot of fun. We're definitely living in interesting times, and we're seeing these tools really impact every stage of organization, from enterprises to public sector to newly funded startups and everything in between. They're leveraging these tools to really impact like every stage of their software development lifecycle. I'm going to pause there. We've got some other folks that are joining that are going to do some brief intros. But before I do that, just a few closing words from the AWS side from Thomas on AI development lifecycle. So over to you, Thomas. You're mute.
Sorry about that. The usual thing here on mute. Thanks, Ian. Thanks for the great intro on all these tools and all the resources in the hackathon. And one resource actually that's I think is missing in there, that's kind of a new framework that AWS pushed out a couple of months back, which is called AIDLC, or AI-driven development. And I'll just steal the screen for a really quick second. here. Yep, there we go. This is something I just want to draw your attention to, because it's very, very tempting to just start throwing ideas at these tools and start wipe coding and see where it kind of leads you. But very, very soon you'll find yourself in a deep hole, so to speak, where you can pretty much have a lot of different solutions to different ideas, and you just keep on iterating, and you're never really developing anything, and you're losing track of your product essentially and your progress. So this is something that can help you in the process. So AI-driven development lifecycle, the framework was developed in order to help developers structuralize the full lifecycle and embed AI as not just as a tool, but as a full-blown collaborator into the whole flow. So right now, or until now, rather, everybody has been using AI assistant tooling for code generation or for development, rather. We have been kind of just asking Q or Kira or anything else out there, pretty much questions, and we're getting answers in terms of code or anything like that. But with AI DLC, we can formalize this process into three kind of areas, three phases. One is the inception phase, then construction phase, and operations phase. And what I mean by these is essentially it's allowing you to develop the idea fully in the inception phase, where you go through the ideation, you go through generation of user stories, fully fleshing out all the requirements, and only then you go to construction. When you are actually developing code and putting the design that you developed in the inception phase into practice, you may find something not fully working right, and you can always revert back to the inception. So it's a fluid process, and it's much faster than the traditional sprints or anything like that. It actually uses something that we call bolts, which translate the life cycles that we used to have for weeks or even months into hours or days, rather. So I would strongly encourage you to look into this. You can just Google AI DLC, AWS, and you'll get this blog post as the first hit. And it's a very good read, and to give you understanding of how you can implement AI into the full development process, not just wipe code, but actually follow a proper structure. Thank you.
Terrific. Yeah, thank you, Thomas. And I just added that article to the resources tab
Awesome.
Within the hackathon as well. I just put it there at the bottom. So everybody in this call, if you're interested in finding that, it's also in the resources tab. But back over to you, James. I think you've got some other intros to make.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Ian and Thomas, for that introduction from the AWS side. So we do have a number of partners as well, and some of whom have listed their own bounty challenges, which you can apply for in addition to the 10 tracks set out by AWS. So Paul, I know you need to jump in a few minutes, so let's hear from Somnia, Paul from Somnia, a bit about your project and also the bounty that you're sponsoring for this hackathon.
Yeah, cool. Can you folks hear me okay?
Loud and
All
clear.
good. All right. Hey, folks. So my name is Paul. I am the founder of Somnia. My background is an engineer by trade. So give a high-level overview of what Somnia is. Somnia is a high-performance EVM-compatible L1 blockchain. So its value proposition is all around its performance. Our vision is basically to make it so that people can build Web3 applications that consumers don't even know they're on Web3 rails. So we do that by making a really fast, really low latency blockchain. So Somnia can do over 1 million transactions per second. So you will never have any problems in terms of throughput unless you do a crazy app. Very low latency. So transactions finalize in under half a second. So when you do a transaction,
Uh-oh.
Paul might have frozen.
Awesome.
That could be his next call starting halfway through.
He's doing too many transactions per second.
Not enough compute.
I'll just ping him.
Yeah, maybe hand it over and then tell some if he jumps back on. We give him a minute, I guess. We got time.
So just to clarify for the hackers, the relationship between tracks and bounties. So there we go. So tracks will be one that you have to choose when you submit your project. And then you can head over to the bounties, which are from some of our sponsors, extra challenges, which are optional for you to apply to, but they do have extra rewards as well. Seeing as Paul looks like he's reconnecting, we can head over to Juliana from NodeOps, who are also sponsoring a bounty. So, hey, Juliana.
Hey everyone. As
Project?
James was saying, there are about 6 bounties. I'm one of them. I'm from NodeOps. We're a DPN infrastructure orchestration layer. So what that means for the $600 bounty in Node tokens is that we simply ask you to Dockerize your application, any application. Just Dockerize it and then place it on our marketplace. So I have 2 very simple videos. They're each about 3 minutes each, YouTube videos. They're very clear. And that's it. Have fun. And if you have any questions, yeah, feel free to reach out to the team. We're always available. Lively builder community on Discord and Telegram. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, yeah, and there is, of course, all the information to do with all of the bounties on the hackathon page. Hit the bounties tab, and the descriptions and those awesome YouTube videos that Juliana mentioned will be there too. Okay, so from another one of our sponsors, Slalom, we've got Rahul.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thanks, Ian and the entire AWS team for organizing this. I think this is a fantastic opportunity for the entire cohort of engineers across the world to come together and build something cool using some of the latest innovation and technologies that we are seeing over last decades, right? So super excited to be a part of this hackathon. I come from a company called Slalom. For those who haven't heard, Slalom is a global consulting SI partner. Works very closely with AWS out of states. I'm based out of Sydney, and I work very closely with our customers and the partner teams from AWS as well to make sure that we can deliver the best outcome for customers. In terms of AI enablement and how Slalom can help, I think we've kind of said we will help you to productionize and take your agentic AI workloads and your ideas into real life. We'll organize five workshops, 5 half-day workshops that will get the best of Slalom to come and collaborate with you wherever you are, via online or whatever mechanisms we have to make sure that we can provide you those insights, those industry gems to help you come to the next level when you're talking about agents and how agentic AI can influence your business outcomes. That's me. If you want to reach out, please feel free to reach out on LinkedIn via my email as well, and then happy to help with whatever I can. Back to you, James.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Rahul. Another one of the strategic partners for the hackathon is GitLab. So, Kaylee, let's hear a little introduction from you, please.
Thanks, James. Thanks, Ian, for having me here today. I'm Kaylee. I lead the AWS partnerships for APJ. I'm from GitLab and glad to be here as part of this global initiative with the Startup Hackathon as well. So I know there are many tools out there, amazing tools from Amazon Q and Kiro as well. And GitLab has recently announced the strategic partnerships with native integration with Q and Bedrock, as well as in the future Kiro as well, where you can experience the whole development workflow natively end-to-end from planning, development, security, and operations, and leveraging multiple AI tools for your hackathon to be able to innovate faster, secure faster, and ship out new ideas and features functionality a lot faster for you to win your hackathon as well. So you can Google search. We have GitLab for Startup program. Check out which are the offerings you can apply for. And we also have a simple 30 days trial that you can sign up for as well. So if you want to reach out to GitLab team, we do have a startup team that you can email to, startups@gitlab.com as well, where you can reach out and let us know how we can support you other than our toolings as well. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kaylee. That's great. So the next one of our strategic partners is Super AI. So we should have Alan on the call.
Yeah, thanks, James. Thanks, Ian, and the AWS team as well for the time. Good to meet you, everyone. My name's Alan. I lead the ecosystem team at Super AI, which is Asia's largest AI conference. I also know there's a couple of folks that are building, they're probably interested in building across Web3. The other event that we organize is also Token 2049, which is the world's largest crypto conference. So basically, we're here to offer a prize for the top winning teams to actually get passes to Super AI for next year. So that's happening on 10 to 11 June 2026 in Marina Bay Sands, Singapore, right? And I think it's an event that brings together about 10,000 builders across founders, executives, builders like yourselves, and startups. And I think basically it's a great time for all of you to convene and to learn about what's happening, the latest in AI. We know that a lot of teams are working remotely, right? So events like ours, I think it's a great way for you to connect and to have an annual event where you guys can meet in person. I think more importantly, we also organized the next hackathon, which we did this year with Amazon Q. That was received really well, where we had 60 of the top developers to come and build during the conference itself, with the top 4 teams actually being able to demo their products, live on stage in front of hundreds of attendees. So many of them have gone on to actually spin out their own startup, moving on with accelerator programs such as Draper University, or going out to spin up their products which are built over 36 hours into actual startups. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting opportunity that several top teams will get to attend, and I believe the winning team will also get a fast track to the next hackathon in 2026. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what you guys built. And thanks again, Amazon, for the opportunity to share this prize with all of you.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Alan. And it looks like we've got Paul back from the metaverse. Paul, you were just doing your introduction on Somnia, but perhaps you could also touch on the bounty that you're sponsoring as well. The details are on the hackathon page, but feel free to pick up where you left off.
Yeah, sure. So sorry, folks, computer issues as always. So quick overview. Somnia is a high performance, even compatible L1 blockchain. I already went through that before. Hopefully you guys heard that. So in terms of our bounty, what we're looking at a high level are projects that are kind of using AWS's AI services and then mixing them with blockchain tech. So if you look at the Somnia ecosystem today, there's a lot of kind of gaming and entertainment products and a lot of DeFi orientated products. And what we're really interested in is how you can kind of augment those with AI in different ways. But it could also be you go down using AI as a new piece of infrastructure to enable other builders as well. So we're just interested in seeing kind of the crossover of AI and Web3 and what people can do there. So what we're offering is a $5,000 USD bounty in Somni. So Somni is the native token of the Somnia network. And there is a kind of first, second, and third place for that. First, we'll get $2,500. Second, we'll get $1,500. And third, we'll get $1,000. And that'll be judged by us, basically. The also thing we do with these kind of hackathons is we take projects that are good, that tend to win prizes, and then move them into what we call ecosystem projects. So here, if you're selected, we'll give you a lot more support. So we have a grants program. There's about $10 million we kind of issued there. A lot of co-marketing support and mentorships and introductions to investor networks and things like that. We also have a Quest platform where we use to incentivize users to use your application as well. And that tends to get you about 30,000 users like that. So it's very, very useful for developers building up new applications to get an audience very quickly. So key criteria that we're looking at here are you have to use at least one AWS AI feature or AI kind of component. You have to deploy your application to the Somnia testnet or the mainnet. If you go to the docs.somnia.network, you'll find all the information on those two networks, RPC endpoints, faucets, all that kind of stuff. We then want you to record a short video, just a few minutes, basically introducing the app, showing off the app, and then basic documentation on how to set it up. So yeah, I think hopefully that's clear. We're really looking for developers and hackers building up new applications of AI. We're very excited to see what you guys build. And yeah, thank you very much, AWS, for giving us this opportunity to partner with you guys.
All right. Thank you, Paul. So we have 2 more bounty sponsors to hear from. Thanks for your patience, guys. Let's start with Seedify. We've got the Meta Alchemist. I was about to dox you with your real name, but I'm not sure if you're deliberately pseudonymous, so I'll just call you Meta Alchemist. but feel free to introduce Seedify and the bounty that you're putting on this hackathon too.
Yeah, both is good. I mean, people know me from both sides. Levantia Maidan, my real name. So, like, we're very, very excited, first of all, for the vibe coding, related things that are going on in the ecosystem. I just want to first add that I'm, streaming probably at least 20 to 30 hours a day. I mean, not a day, a week on X about vibe coding and trying to, educate people about, vibe coding. And there is a lot of actually interest coming in from the ecosystem, because this will actually change the ecosystem to become a lot more efficient and productive. And like everything that is being done here is really amazing to see. What we will actually offer as Seedify is for projects who want to raise further after the hackathon, we will be supporting them with their raises. So that's what we are offering as Seedify. And yeah, like if they need more budget, if they need more community support and all of that, we're here for them so that they can take their vibe coding ideas to become real businesses that can actually build with revenues, and that can represent their own narratives in serious ways.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. And we
course,
have
of
one
course.
more bounty. Were you finished yet? I didn't cut you
I
off, did I?
mean, we have a little other S-Fund bounty too from our token, but I
Go ahead.
don't know how much was that part, so I'm not gonna be able to comment on that. But let me actually like I shared the other part, which is I think is gonna be much more exciting for the participants.
Yeah, that's great. And people can always see all of the details for the bounties and all the tracks and
Yeah,
everything on the hackathon page. So thanks for
yeah,
the
yeah.
introduction.
Thank you, James.
Okay. Yeah, thanks a lot. We also have Zeta Chain. So Matthew, thanks for joining and thanks for being patient. You're also sponsoring a bounty, so maybe you could tell us a bit about Zeta Chain for those who aren't aware and explain, I think, the 3 different bounties that you've added to the hackathon.
Sure. Thank you so much, James and Ian, for having us. Can you guys hear me okay? Very good. My
Yeah,
name is
crystal clear.
Matthew. I'm the developer experience engineer at Zeta Chain. And so I host the hackathons, and we work with DoraHacks, among others, to host some really global hackathons to give people access to Zeta Chain. What is Zeta Chain? Zeta Chain is a layer 1 blockchain. Our main goal is interoperability. So it's an EVM-based chain, but EVM to SUI, EVM to Solana, EVM to Bitcoin. Pick your use case. We really are building out the interoperability for cross-chain use cases. And that brings me to my first bounty. The first bounty, it's all paid in Zeta, but it's 2K in Zeta. And that's for any sort of universal app you want to build, like whether it's with Solana or SUI or Ton, just something between Zeta Chain and another blockchain. Another bounty is a universal AI app. So that's really focusing on the vibe coding app that you may be familiar with. And that can be an AI feature, that could be using AI, that could be any sort of AI application that works with Zeta Chain. And the last bounty is a multi-sponsor bounty. So that's to include Zeta Chain and any of the other bounties you see on the board, from AWS to GitHub to Node to any of these power players and heavy hitters out here. Just include that with Zeta Chain, really expressing the interoperability of our blockchain. And I wish you guys the most luck, and start building and submit your projects, and stay tuned for more coming from DoraHacks. Thanks, James.
All right. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you. I want to do a quick shout out as well to some of the other partners that we have for this Vibe Coding Hackathon that couldn't make it to give a little introduction today. So we have Circle, Arcanum AI, Draper University, Minfi, and 500 Global. So a huge thank you to all of the partners and sponsors for the hackathon, because everyone is contributing to the huge prize pool valued over 700K USD at the moment. You can check out the whole range of prizes, which can be awarded multiple times across all the tracks. So don't worry about choosing a track and worry that you're limiting yourself about which one of the partners you could have access to. Apply for any of the tracks, and yeah, the pool has been a joint effort from all of the partners. So thank you. All right, I think we can hand it back to Ian and Thomas if there's anything else you want to say before we wrap up.
Yeah, thanks, James, and great hearing from everybody that joined the call. Thanks for your time wherever you are in the world. Thanks for the collaboration up until this point. And yeah, it's really exciting to have such a great mix of partners and different support instruments for this hackathon. I think we're all super excited to see what everybody contributes. I will mention a bit, and I didn't touch on this early on, and so we tried to put together a big mix in the prize pool, right? So it's not just subscriptions, it's not just AWS credits, but there's also scholarships, there's tickets, there's opportunities to pitch. So we have like Draper University, which Draper VC is also making pre-seed and seed up to Series A round investments all the time. A big AWS partner, and then we also have 500 Global. So 500 Global is one of our biggest venture companies globally, with just a lot of I'm looking at their portfolio now. So GitLab, Grab, Udemy, Canva, they've got a great portfolio. And so they're watching this closely. And so there's not just an opportunity for the builders to innovate with these tools and to network, meet other founders, put teams together and win prizes, but there's also an opportunity to get in front of some of these VCs and to get to fundings. And I know beyond just the few that we mentioned that are actually judging, and there's opportunities to be able to pitch to them or to go to those incubators and accelerators and other events. But there's a number of other partners that are going to be watching this. So think of this as an opportunity to come up with a totally brand new idea or to take your current idea to the next level. So again, I encourage everybody to really take a look at the tracks, take a look at the resources, continue to follow the communications, and I anticipate a handful of other more technical workshops coming both from us and from the other partners in the coming days. And there's also a question section. So if there's anything that we didn't cover here, or if there's anything that's not clear about the rules or submissions or deadlines or anything like that, just post the channel, and we're monitoring that closely. And great to have you all on participating, and we're super excited to see what everyone has in store for us in your builds and submissions.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Ian, and thanks to all of the partners who joined to speak today, everyone else who's supporting, and thanks to everyone who's joined either live or catching this on catch up. Any questions regarding the platform, creating your build registration, you can ask on Telegram at DoraHacks Official, or find our email or Discord channel through the website. But all the information to do with the hackathon is on the page. So go ahead and get registered now. Okay, well, thanks everyone for joining. I think we can leave it there for today, and I can't wait to see what everyone builds.
Awesome. Bye, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.